Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is the 10th September 2025. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Even before that, please note, we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. All the training lessons can be accessible at our NeoStock YouTube channel. At our channel homepage, click on the tab Posts. In case if you see community tab, click on the community tab. Either case you get the same post. And this post is having a YouTube playlist link that is having all the training lessons. You just click on the link. Now we are into supply demand zone price action course. Here you have all the training lessons are available. You just scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here starting from lesson 1.1. All the training lessons are placed in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one, but according to my training instructions. I provided all the training instructions at our NeoStock YouTube channel. At a NeoStock Telegram channel. I provided our Telegram channel link in this video description. Please join at our Telegram channel. In the old messages or in the pinned messages, you can find all the training instructions. If you can learn the course according to those training instructions, it will be helpful to you to become a very good independent trader. Please make use of this opportunity. Now I am generating different supply demand zone reports with the help of NeoStock Software Supply Demand Zone Top-Down Strategy Builder. First, I am going to generate finding the stocks near daily and 75 minutes demand and supply zones. So from those reports, we can identify high priority, high liquidity demand zones and supply zones so that we can apply high liquidity zone strategy that you learned in lesson 21.3 video. Okay, starting with the daily time frame, stocks near to the daily demand zone, we got 11 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity demand zones. We got one stock. Trend is having high priority, high liquidity daily demand zone. Only one stock we identified from this list. Okay, next for daily time frame, stocks near to the daily supply zone. We got 13 stocks. Let us identify high priority, high liquidity, daily supply zones from this list. Mankind is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. TI India is also having a high liquidity daily supply zone. So we got two high liquidity zones, supply zones from this list. Okay, next time frame is 75 minutes. Stocks near to the 75 minutes demand zone. We got 8 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity demand zones from this list. We don't have any high priority, high liquidity 75 minutes demand zones from this list. Okay, next for 75 minutes time frame, stocks near to the 75 minutes supply zone. We got 11 stocks. Let us identify 75 minutes high liquidity supply zones from this list. 361 is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. Next, AU Bank is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. It is also having high liquidity demand zone. Either side you may get trade opportunities, but the distance is around 3%. If prices fell down by 3%, then only you get a trade opportunity in the demand zone. If a zone is having both demand and supply zone as a high liquidity zones, either side you can get trade opportunity. Several times I explained. Otherwise, you should focus only high liquidity supply zones from the stocks near supply zones. Okay, next one is BPCL. BPCL is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. Next one, Coal India you cannot use because it is a pierced zone. So you can, anybody interested with pierced zone strategies, you can select this stock and apply the concepts that you learned in lesson 28. And next one is Loda is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. So total we identified 4 75 minutes high liquidity supply zones from this list. So this is about high liquidity zone identification. Next I am going to generate Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain reports, starting with Nifty. Generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. In any supply demand zone chain report, always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zones, and look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones, and also look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. You already learned one time frame higher is ITF and one more time frame higher is HTF. And remember these rules for all the supply demand zone chain reports. And also don't forget to pause the video when you are moving from one report to another report, because I am giving you very few seconds time to watch the reports. Okay, next, generating a weekly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. The nearest demand zone is serial number 16. Okay, next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. The nearest demand zone for the current closing price, serial number 29. I will put it in the middle of the page. So this is a Nifty supply demand zone chain report. Next, I will generate Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain, changing the name to Nifty Bank. That is nothing but Bank Nifty. Generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating a weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. So here the nearest demand zone for the current closing price, serial number 23. I will adjust in the middle of the page. So this is Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain report. So we have completed the generation of both Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain reports. Next I am generating sideways bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly, daily income trades. Starting with monthly income trade, sideways long trade setup, entry time frame daily, entry zone, demand zone, bullish or bearish or sideways at daily. I am selecting sideways long, zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd and hands score 11 for sideways, and also I am not filtering pierced zones, because any pierced zones you can apply pierced zone strategies that you learned in lesson 28. We got 6 stocks. Entry time frame zones are daily demand zones for monthly income trade, sideways long trade setup. Here one stock is having a sideways, pierced zone. You should not use for sideways. You have to use for only pierced zone strategy. Any opportunities are available. Okay, next sideways short trade setup. The changes are daily supply zone, and here sideways short. We don't have any zones. Next, bullish trade setup for monthly income trade, daily demand zone, bullish, and minimum odd and hands score 12. First 17 stocks in the list supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade, and all the entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. So first 17 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 20 stocks are filtered, and some of the daily demand zones are pierced zones. You should use them only for pierced zone strategies. You can't use it for bullish trade setup. Okay, out of these 20, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that you learned in lessons 27. Okay, first strategy, LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. After that, ITF EMA confluence. So in the demand zone confluence, and I am applying the filter, daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. Now we got 16 stocks are filtered. All the daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zones. So daily and weekly demand zones are having confluence. That means all these daily demand zones are part of the weekly demand zone, and weekly trend, ITF trend, is uptrend in all the stocks. We can further filter based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence, because weekly trend is uptrend. So 10 stocks are filtered. So these 10 daily demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provided lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. I think 2 stocks are having pierced zones. You should not use them. You can use them only for pierced zone strategies. So that means 8 stocks are available. But lesson 20 checklist items should satisfy. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. You should not forget that point. Okay, next strategy is LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence. After that, HTF EMA confluence. So I'm going back, removing ITF EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First one, daily and weekly, already enabled. Daily and monthly, weekly and monthly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 3 stocks. In all the 3 stocks, these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zone, and both together again overlapped with monthly demand zone. First one is pierced zone. You have to use only pierced zone strategy for this. Remaining 2. Let's verify remaining 2. Any weekly demand zones are having weekly EMA confluence. Monthly demand zone, because monthly trend is up. Because daily, weekly and monthly are overlapped. So I'm checking EMA Confluence at monthly time frame with monthly demand zone, monthly EMA Confluence. One stock is filtered. So this daily demand zone might be having more high probability to get success, provided less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay. This is bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame daily, entry zone, supply zone, bullish or bearish. At daily, I'm selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd and hands score 12. Let's filter. We got 5 stocks. All 5 are supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame zones are daily supply zones. Out of these 5 stocks, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that you learned in lesson 27. That is supply zone confluence. First filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is daily and weekly supply zone confluence. Applying on the 5 stocks, we got all the 5 stocks. That means in all the 5 stocks, these daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zone. And weekly trend, ITF trend, is a downtrend in all the stocks. We can further filter this list based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence, because daily supply zone overlapped with weekly supply zone. And weekly trend is a downtrend. So these 2 stocks are filtered. These 2 stocks might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. Okay. Next, we will look into LTF, ITF and even HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. Removing ITF EMA filter. Supply zone confluence, 3 filters I am setting. First one daily and weekly already enabled. Next daily and monthly, weekly and monthly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 3 stocks. In all the 3 stocks, these daily supply zones overlapped with weekly supply zone. Both together again overlapped with monthly supply zone. But monthly trend is sideways. Sideways trend EMA confluence does not give much advantage. So that's why we are not further filtering. So this is bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, weekly income trade reports. First report, sideways long trade setup, entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zone, bullish or bearish or sideways at 75 minutes, selecting sideways long, zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd and hands score 11 for sideways, and also 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count should be 0. Pierced count on 75 minutes demand zone should be 0. Let's filter. We got 7 stocks supporting sideways long trade setup for weekly income trade. And entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. So total we got 7 stocks. But remember, you can plan trades only if less than 30.3 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next sideways short trade setup. 75 minute supply zone and here sideways short. We got 3 stocks. Entry time frame zones are 75 minute supply zones. If less than 30.3 checklist items are satisfied, then you can plan the trades. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. The changes are daily demand zone. Here bullish. and minimum order enhancer score 12. Let's filter. We got 18 stocks. First 17 stocks supporting side bullish trade setup for weekly income trade, and entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones in all these stocks. So first 17 stocks, I'm scrolling the list down. So total we got 18 stocks. Entry time frames zone 75 minutes demand zones. Out of these 18 75 minutes demand zones, there could be some high probability trade setup 75 minutes demand zones might be available. We need to filter them based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that you learned in lesson 27. Okay, let us apply the strategies. First strategy, LTF and ITF demand zone confluence, and then ITF EMA confluence. First demand zone confluence, LTF and ITF, that is 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. Applying the filter on the 18 stocks, we got 15 stocks. In all the 15 stocks, all these 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with daily demand zone. And the daily trend, that is ITF trend, is uptrend in all the stocks. So further we can filter based on daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence, because the daily trend is uptrend. So we got 8 stocks. In these 8 stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next strategy is LTF, ITF and even HTF demand zone confluence. After that, HTF EMA confluence. Let's verify. I'm removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter 75 and daily already enabled. Next 75 and weekly. Daily and weekly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 6 stocks. In all the 6 stocks, all these 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with daily demand zone. Both together again overlapped with weekly demand zone. And weekly trend is uptrend in 3 stocks. Let's verify out of these 6, those 3 stocks having uptrend, if they are having any weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence. Weekly demand zone with weekly EMA. At the same time, trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So none of the stocks are having with weekly demand zone with weekly EMA. Okay, fine. Next strategy is LTF, ITF and HTF. Next strategy is bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next reports. So entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, supply zone. Here bullish or bearish at 75 minutes. I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum order enhancer score 12. And 75 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 75 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced zone should not be pierced. So we got 8 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame zones are 75 minute supply zones. So total we got 8 stocks. Out of these 8, how many 75 minute supply zones are having? Are overlapped with daily supply zone. Let's filter. That is 75 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. By enabling the filter, we got 5 stocks. In all the 5 stocks, these 75 minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone. And daily trend is a downtrend in all the 5 stocks. Let's verify any daily supply zone having daily EMA Confluence. Two stocks are filtered. So these two 75-minute supply zones are having high probability to get success. Provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next let us look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. Removing ITF EMA filter, supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. Sorry. Yeah. So first filter is already enabled, 75 and daily, 75 and weekly, daily and weekly, supply zone confluence with all the 3 filters. We got 2 stocks. So these two 75-minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone, both together again overlapped with weekly supply zone. But weekly trend is a downtrend in only one stock. Let's verify if this weekly supply zone having any weekly EMA confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So this stock is filtered. That means this 75-minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success. Provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. So this is bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, I will generate daily income trade reports. For daily income trade sideways long trade setup, I will generate entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone, demand zone, bullish or bearish or sideways at 15 minutes. I am selecting sideways long, zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd and hands score 11 for sideways, and 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 15 minutes time frame, I am selecting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count should be 0. Pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced. Which zone? The 15 minutes demand zone, what you selected here. So let's filter. We got 4 stocks supporting sideways long trade setup for daily income trade. And entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. Okay, next the sideways short trade setup for daily income trade, entry time frame zone 15 minutes supply zone, and also here sideways short. Let's filter. We got 4 stocks. And entry time frame zones are 15 minutes supply zones. Infosys already tested twice. But remember, you should apply lesson 30.3 checklist items. If they are satisfied, then only you should plan the trade. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next, the bullish trade setup for daily income trade. The changes are 15 minutes demand zone, and here bullish, and minimum odd and hands score 12. Let's filter. We got 14 stocks supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade, and entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zone. So total we got 14 stocks. Out of these 14, how many 15 minutes demand zones are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that we learn in lesson 27. So first one is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. After that, EMA confluence. Let's filter. We got 13 stocks out of 14. All 15 minutes demand zones overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. All these 15 minutes demand zones. They are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone, and 75 minutes trend, ITF trend, is uptrend. So we can further filter based on 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence. Here 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA Confluence. So we got 5 stocks, and all these 15 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success provided less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next strategy, LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence, and then HTF EMA confluence. Let's verify. Removing ITF EMA filter, demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled, 15 minutes and 75 minutes. Next 15 minutes and daily, 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 6 stocks. In all the 6 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. Both together again overlapped with daily demand zone. And daily trend is uptrend in only one stock. Let's verify if this daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. And also trend on the daily should not be sideways. It should be only uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So no stocks are filtered. So we don't have any high probability trade setup daily demand zones as per this strategy. Okay, this is bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone supply zone. Bullish or bearish at 15 minutes. I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. And also 15 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 15 minutes time frame, setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0, so that we won't get piercer zones. So we got 5 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame zones are 15 minutes supply zones. Out of these 5, let us identify high probability trade setup 15 minutes supply zones. First filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. With this filter, we got 4 stocks. In these 4 stocks, these 15 minute supply zones are overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. And the 75 minutes trend is a downtrend in all the stocks. We can further filter based on 75 minute supply zone having daily EMA confluence. Let's filter. We got only 1 stock. So this 15 minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success, provided less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next let us look into LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence and then HTF EMA confluence. So I'm going back, removing ITF EMA filter. Supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First one is already enabled, that is 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. It is already enabled. Next 15 minutes and daily, 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. All these 15 minute supply zones overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. Both together again overlapped with daily supply zone. But daily trend is sideways. Sideways trend EMA confluence does not give any advantage. So this is bearish trade setup for daily income trade. So we have completed the income trade generation. Next I will generate finding the stocks near demand and supply zone for all the time frames starting with yearly. Price closed inside the yearly demand zone. We got 3 stocks. Next, price closed inside the yearly supply zone. No stocks. Next time frame half yearly. Price closed inside the half yearly demand zone. We got 5 stocks. Next, price closed inside the half yearly supply zone. We got 3 stocks. Next time frame is quarterly. Stocks near quarterly demand zone. We got 1 stock. Next, stocks near to the quarterly supply zone, no stocks. Next, price closed inside the quarterly demand zone, we got 21 stocks. We can further filter this list based on quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. It can be up or down trend. We got 13 stocks. Next, price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. We got 14 stocks. We can further filter this list based on quarterly supply zone having quarterly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. We got 3 stocks. Next time frame is monthly. Stocks near to the monthly demand zone, we got 6 stocks. Next, stocks near to the monthly supply zone, we got 1 stock. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone, we got first 18 stocks. Scrolling the list down, we got 27 stocks. We can further filter based on monthly demand zone having monthly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. We got 13 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the monthly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 26 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on monthly supply zone having monthly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. So we got 9 stocks. Next time frame is weekly. Stocks near to the weekly demand zone, we got 5 stocks. Next, stocks near to the weekly supply zone, we got 8 stocks. Next, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total we got 30 stocks. We can further filter this list based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. So first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total we got 19 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the weekly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 60 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. We got a small list now. Now first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 22 stocks are filtered. And the next time frame daily already generated in the beginning of the report. So the next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near to the 125 minutes demand zone, we got 8 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 125 minute supply zone, we got 13 stocks. So next time frame 75 minutes already generated in the beginning of the report. So the next time frame is 25 minutes. Stocks near to the 25 minutes demand zone, we got 6 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 25 minute supply zone, we got 8 stocks. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near to the 15 minutes demand zone, we got 9 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 15 minute supply zone, we got 10 stocks. Next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near to the 5 minutes demand zone, we got 7 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 5 minute supply zone, we got 12 stocks. So we have completed finding the stocks near demand and supply zones. Final report, let us generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. So first 17 in this list indices, remaining all are equity stocks. So I'm scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there pause the video. And once you study, you can proceed further. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 226 stocks. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let us all meet again in our next video. Thank you.